Learn English easily with Pro English.
Welcome back to the Speak English podcast. Today, we are going back to basics, but do not be fooled. The topic we are covering today is responsible for one of the most persistent pronunciation mistakes in the English language. We are talking about the four magic pointing words: this, that, these, and those. We are going to master the logic of distance and number, but more importantly, we are going to fix the pronunciation of this these once and for all. Because if you get this wrong, you might be asking for one pen but sounding like you want 10.
Oh, this topic haunts me. It seems so simple on page 1 of the textbook. This is an apple. That is a cat. But in real conversation, my brain freezes. I have to calculate. Is it near? Is it far? Is it one? Is it many? And by the time I choose the word, the moment is gone. And the pronunciation, I swear when I say this and these, they sound exactly the same. I just make a generic ths sound and hope the other person understands from context. Is there actually a clear difference in sound?
There is a massive difference and it changes the meaning completely. But let's start with the logic grid before we fix the sound. Imagine a grid with four squares. The vertical axis is distance, near vs far. The horizontal axis is number, singular 1 versus plural 2 plus. Let's start with singular 1. If the object is close enough to touch near, we use this. If the object is out of reach far, we use that. This is the arm's length rule. Can you touch it? Yes. This, no, that.
The arm's length rule. I like that. So right now, I am holding this microphone, touching it, but I am looking at the door across the room, so I am looking at that door. Okay, simple enough. But what if the distance is ambiguous? What if something is 2 meters away? I could touch it if I took a step. Is it this or that?
That is where it becomes subjective. It depends on your feeling of closeness. Generally, if you have to move your feet to get it, it becomes that. Pass me that bottle, it's on the other table. But if you feel emotionally connected to it, or you are holding it in your mind, you might use this. However, for physical objects, sticking to the touch test is the safest bet for learners. Now, let's add the plurals.
Okay, plurals, more than one. If I have 2 pens in my hand near, it becomes these. If the pens are on the table across the room far, it becomes those. So the grid is near plus singular this, near plus plural these, far plus singular that, far plus plural those. The logic is easy. The problem is my mouth. Michael, please teach me how to say this and these so people stop handing me the wrong number of things.
This is the masterclass section. Listen closely. This singular has a short I sound and an unvoiced S pronunciation, THISS. The vowel is short, relaxed, and happens in the throat. It rhymes with fish, kiss. Miss the ending is a soft snake sound, SSSSS. Try it, THISS. This.
THISS this like fish. Okay, it feels short and sharp. My lips are relaxed. Now what about the plural?
These plural is completely different. It has a long E sound and a voiced Z pronunciation, THEZZ. The vowel is long and tense. You have to smile to say it. It rhymes with cheese, please, trees. And the ending is not an S, it is a vibrating Z sound, ZZZZZ. If you don't vibrate the Z, it sounds like this. Try it. Smile, stretch the E, and buzz the Z, these.
THEZZ, these. Okay, I feel the vibration in my throat on the Z and I am smiling like a crazy person. Cheese, these. So the contrast is this, short, relaxed S sound. Fish, these, long, smiling Z sound. Cheese. This pen, these pens. Wow, the Z makes a huge difference. I never pronounced the Z before. I was saying thes with an S, that's why nobody understood me.
Exactly. If you say thes with an S, it sounds like a weird pronunciation of this. The Z is the plural marker. Now let's look at the far side, that versus those. That singular is easy. It has the open A sound like cat or hat. And it ends in a hard, crisp T that. Those plural has the round O diphthong OU and guess what? It ends in a Z again. Pronunciation, THOZZ. Rhymes with rose, nose, goes.
Thozz, those, like rose. So both plurals, these slash those end in the Z vibration. That is a great rule to remember. Plural, vibration. Singular, this that equals hard crisp endings, S or T. Okay, I feel confident about physical objects now. But English is never just about physical objects. What about time? Can I use these words for time?
Absolutely, we map space onto time. This equals now slash the future near time. That equals the past far time. If you are doing something right now, you say, this is fun. If you talk about yesterday, you say, that was fun. We also use this for upcoming time. This week, the current one. This morning, today, be careful. We don't say that week for next week. We usually use that for distant past memories. That week in 1999 was crazy.
Okay, so this is present future, that is past. This movie is good, I am watching it now. That movie was good, I watched it yesterday. But what about when I introduce people? I remember learning that on the phone we don't say I am Sarah. We say this is Sarah. Why? I am a person, not an object.
This is the disembodied voice rule. On the phone or on Zoom with camera off, you are a voice, not a body. You are near yourself, so you say this is name. You refer to the other person as far, so you ask, is that Michael? Hello, this is Sarah. Is that Michael? Never say I am Sarah on the phone to start a call. It sounds surprisingly unnatural. Also, at a party, when you introduce two friends to each other, you use this. Michael, this is my friend Anna. You don't say he is Michael or she is Anna. You present them like a gift. This is.
Present them like a gift. That helps, so I am physically pointing or metaphorically pointing at them. This is Anna. Okay, what about abstract ideas, when we are arguing or discussing opinions? I don't like that, versus I don't like this. Is there a difference? If I am talking about an idea, it doesn't have a physical location.
This is psychological distance. We use THIS for ideas that are close to the conversation right now or ideas I am introducing. Listen to this. I have a new plan. I am introducing it. We use that for ideas that the other person said or ideas we want to distance ourselves from, often negative. If you say something stupid, I say, I don't like that idea. Your idea over there, away from me. If I agree with you, I usually say, that's right, reflecting back on what you just said.
That's right. I hear that all the time, so if I say, English is hard, you say, that is true, referring to my statement. But if you want to tell me a new fact, you say, this is interesting. So, this equals incoming info forward. That equals outgoing previous info backward.
Precisely, this points forward or to me, that points backward or to you. This is what I think. Here comes my opinion. That is what you said. Referring back to your opinion, there is one tricky expression students confuse. It's like this versus it's like that. It's like this means let me explain. It's just like that usually means that is the reality situation and we can't change it. C'est la vie.
It's just like that. Yeah, it sounds resigned. Okay, grammar question. Can I use these words alone or do they need a noun? I like this car, adjective plus noun. I like this, pronoun, are both correct. Sometimes I feel like, I like this sounds incomplete. Should I say, I like this one?
Both are grammatically correct, but they have different vibes. I like this is perfectly fine if the context is clear, e.g., pointing at a cake. However, adding one makes it more specific and sounds more native when choosing from a selection. Which shirt do you want? I want this one. Better than just I want this, I prefer that one. I like these ones. Or just I like these, be careful. These ones and those ones are very common in spoken English, but some strict grammar teachers hate them. They prefer just these and those. But in casual conversation, these ones is totally fine.
These ones? It feels very natural to say. It balances the rhythm. What about this here and that there? I hear people say, this here is my car. Is that correct, or is it redundant slang?
That is definitely informal, regional slang, often southern U.S. or rural. This here and that there. Grammatically, it is redundant because this already means here, and that already means there. In standard or professional English, avoid it. Just say this is my car. But if you want to sound like a cowboy, go ahead and say that their horse is mine.
That their horse. Okay, I will save that for my cowboy roleplay. Let's review the emotional distance again. You said we use that to distance ourselves. Can I use that to complain? Like if I hate my boss, can I refer to him as that man, even if he is standing right there?
Yes, that is a very subtle power move. Using that for a person can imply dislike, disgust, or detachment. That man is annoying. Distant, objectifying. Who is that guy? I don't know him and I maybe don't want to. Comparing to, this guy is annoying. He is in my space. It feels more immediate/personal. If you tell a story about a bad customer, you usually say, so this guy walks in. Using this in storytelling makes it vivid and present. But if you criticize a politician, you might say, I can't stand that guy.
Wait, so this guy walks in. I thought this was for people I know. You said this is my friend. But in stories, we use this for strangers. So I met this girl yesterday.
You caught a very cool exception. This is called the narrative this. When we tell anecdotal stories, jokes, gossip, we use this to introduce a new character, even if they are a stranger. I was at the bar and this guy started dancing. It signals to the listener, pay attention to this character, they are important to the story. If you said, I was at the bar and a guy started dancing, it sounds flatter. This guy makes it alive.
The narrative this. That explains so much. I always wondered why comedians say, so this driver cuts me off. Okay, Michael, I think I have the grid and the pronunciation. Let's test my pronunciation one more time. I want to say, I want these shoes, not this shoe. How do I say it without sounding crazy?
Focus on the vibration. I want these cheese/zzz shoes, not this fish/sss shoe. Listen to the vowel length. These takes time, this is fast. These. This. Try it. Look at these photos of this cat.
Look at Thea's photos of this cat. I think I got it. The smile really helps for these. So, we covered physical distance, time distance, emotional distance, and the narrative this. But there are some fixed phrases that confuse me. One of these days. That's it, this is it. What is the difference between that's it and this is it? They seem to mean the same thing.
Oh, those are crucial idioms. That's it usually means it is finished. That is the correct answer, or I have had enough. Angry, this is it usually means the moment has arrived. Excitement or anticipation. Imagine you are at a concert. The lights go down, you whisper, this is it. It's starting. Imagine you finish a hard exam, you put down your pen, you say, that's it. It's over.
This is it equals starting present excitement. That's it equals finished past relief. That is a perfect distinction. Okay, I am ready to practice this in the real world. I am going to point at everything I see. That bird, these trees, this coffee. I hope nobody calls the police on me for pointing at strangers.
Just don't point and say, that guy is annoying too loud. In part 2, we are going to dive into the advanced demonstratives. We will talk about referring to whole sentences, I overslept, and that made me late, and we will look at more complex idioms like at this point versus at that point. Are you ready to move beyond the basics?
I am ready, no more this S for everything. I am ready to buzz my Z's. See you in part 2. Tema, this, that, these, those, part 2. Advanced Grammar Idioms DURACINPARTE 2. 15 minutos aprox.
Welcome back to part 2. We have mastered the physical pointing, that cat, these shoes. Now we are moving to the invisible world. We are going to talk about text reference. This is crucial for emails, essays, and professional speaking. Imagine I say, the company lost money, the CEO resigned, and the stock market crashed. That is a whole complex situation. How do I refer to that whole sentence in the next sentence? Do I say this was a disaster, or that was a disaster?
Oh, this is exactly where I get stuck in my writing. I write a long paragraph explaining a problem, and then I want to say, that means we need to change strategy. I usually use this, because it feels closer to what I just wrote. But sometimes I see that, Is there a rule, or is it just style?
It is partly style, but there is a logic. Generally, we use THIS when we want to continue talking about the topic. It keeps the topic active or open. The CEO resigned. This changes everything. I am going to keep talking about the changes. We use that when we want to close the topic or summarize it as a completed fact. The CEO resigned. That was unfortunate. End of comment. Moving on. Think of THIS as a zoom in and that as a zoom out.
Zoom in versus zoom out. That is very visual, so if I am arguing a point, I should use this. We are losing money. This implies we need to cut costs. Active argument. If I am just reacting to news, I use that. We lost money. Oh, that is terrible. Reaction distance. That explains why that's great, is so common. It acknowledges the news and completes the interaction. You rarely say, this is great, unless you are physically holding the prize.
Exactly. That's great refers to your news. This is great refers to my current experience. Now, a huge tip for professional writing: beware of the lonely this. In academic or business writing, if you just write this followed by a verb, this proves. It can be vague. The reader might ask, this what? This fact, this graph, this situation. To be safe and precise, always glue a summary noun to it. Instead of this shows we are growing, write this trend shows we are growing. Instead of this is dangerous, write this strategy is dangerous.
The lonely this. I am definitely guilty of that. I leave this hanging all by itself. Adding a noun makes it so much stronger. This discrepancy suggests. It sounds very CEO-like. Okay, let's talk about idioms. English loves using these 4 words in fixed phrases. I keep hearing one of those days. It's just one of those days. What does that mean? One of which days?
One of those days is a classic idiom for a bad, unlucky, or chaotic day where everything goes wrong. You don't need to explain why. You just sigh and say, it's just one of those days. Everyone understands. Notice we use THOSC, plural, far. It implies a category of bad days that we all know from a distance. We distance ourselves from the bad luck. We also say one of those things. Why did the computer break? I don't know, it's just one of those things. It's an unexplained mystery bad luck.
One of those things. It's a shrug in words. What about this and that? What did you talk about? Oh, just this and that. Does that mean nothing important?
Yes, this and that means various unimportant things or miscellaneous topics. It is a way to be vague. What did you do today? Oh, a bit of this and that. Another great one is that's that. Stress on the second that. I finished the report, sent the email, and that's that. It means the matter is completely finished and settled. No more discussion.
That's that. It sounds very final, like closing a book. I also hear there is that. The hotel is expensive, but the view is nice. Yeah, there is that. Does that mean I agree?
There is that is a way of acknowledging a positive point in a mostly negative situation or vice versa. It means that is one valid point to consider. It is usually understated or slightly sarcastic. He is annoying, but he is rich. True, there is that. Now let's talk about manner, like this versus like that. This is a physical instruction. If I show you how to dance, I say, move your feet like this. Watch me now. If I correct you, I say, don't move them like that, referencing your bad movement.
Like this, copy me. Like that, don't do what you just did. Can I use like so? I heard a chef on TV say, chop the onion like so. Is like so the same as like this?
Yes, like so is a slightly more formal or instructive way of saying like this. You hear it a lot in tutorials. Fold the paper like so. But in casual conversation, stick to like this. And here is a slang warning. Be careful with I'm like that. If someone says, I helped the old lady because I'm like that, it means that is my personality character. Why did you pay for everyone? I don't know, I'm just like that.
I'm just like that. It's a statement of identity. Okay, Michael, I want to clarify the pronunciation of those one more time because we focused a lot on these in part 1. Those. It has the O sound. Rose. But sometimes when people speak fast, it sounds like they drop the TH. One of O's days. Am I hearing things?
You have excellent ears. In rapid, casual American English, the th often gets dropped or softened in those and that, especially after a consonant. Look at guy. Look at that guy. One of os days. One of those days. Who are os people? It is not proper English, but it is real English. However, for you as a learner, keep the th strong. Thos. It is safer to be clear than to be too casual and sound lazy.
Keep the th, got it, thos. What about the phrase at this point versus at that point? I use them in storytelling. I waited for an hour, at that point I left. Past story. I have waited for an hour. At this point I'm leaving. Present situation. Is that the rule? Past equals that point. Present equals this point.
100 correct. At that point is a marker in a past narrative. It signifies a specific moment then. At this point means now, usually implying frustration or a change in status. At this point it doesn't matter, given the current situation. Also notice the phrase in this day and age. Nowadays, we never say in that day and age unless referring to history.
In this day and age. A very useful click for essays. Okay, I have a tricky one. This is he or this is him. When someone calls on the phone and asks, is Michael there? What do you answer? This is he or this is him. Or just speaking.
Traditionally and grammatically, this is he is the correct form subject pronoun after to be. However, it sounds incredibly formal and old-fashioned, like a butler. Most modern speakers say this is him or simply this is Michael, but the most natural answer is just speaking. Is Michael there? Speaking. It is efficient and confident.
Speaking, I love efficiency. Okay, let's play a quick game called Distance Detective. I will give you a sentence, and you tell me if the object idea is near or far physically or emotionally. Get those shoes off the table. Listen to this. I hate that attitude. These are the best cookies ever.
Let's analyze. Get those shoes off. Far. Or I want them far away. I am distancing myself from the dirty shoes. Listen to this. Near, immediate future. The information is coming right now. I hate that attitude. Far, emotional distance. I disapprove of it. I push it away. These are the best cookies. Near. They are likely in my mouth or hand right now. How did I do?
Perfect score. The emotional distance in number 3 is the most interesting one to me, using that to show disapproval. I don't like that tone of voice. Who is that woman? It really is a weapon. Okay, Michael, any final words on this, that, these, those? I feel like my grid is full.
My final advice is, trust your pointing finger. If you are confused, physically point with your finger. If you point close to your chest, say this, these. If you point away from your body, say that, those. Connecting the word to a physical gesture will help your brain map the near-far logic instantly. Even if you just move your finger 1 inch. The body teaches the brain.
The body teaches the brain. I am going to be pointing at everything today. This microphone, that door, those clouds, these feelings. Thank you so much, Michael. This was a great lesson. See what I did there?
That makes me happy. See what I did there, referring back. Thanks for listening, everyone. Practice your Z sounds, theas, thos, and we will see you in the next episode.
Bye, that's it for today. Fin del episodiocomplito. Turnos 1 a 60 completados. Duración total, 30 minutos.